Welcome to another episode of Poker Time. It's our 5-10 cash game.
The PT is here.
The PT is indeed here.
That's poker time.
Looks like we are starting off by playing a bomb pot.
All right, we're just coming in hot. We're going to play a double board Omaha bomb pot.
Sounds good to me. All these already got a set of 9s on the top board. Here's the bottom board.
And a gut shot, by the way.
8 deuce rainbow.
Not much for Aldi there.
Nope, but that set of 9 is probably going to carry him at least until the board gets scarier.
So far, not much for anybody else. Danny R has got top 2 on the bottom and top on top.
Mamba with the bad flush draw and makes the flush actually on top.
Danny R now has top 3 on the bottom.
Also, Mustache has clubs as well as Mamba.
You know, Danny could take a very aggressive stance here, even though he's unlikely to win at showdown in both spots because he has the nut flush blocker on top, along with blocking top set and 2 pairs.
Yeah.
And he has a relatively strong hand on the bottom.
Especially since no one's shown a lot of power yet.
Mamba has 2 pair on the bottom and the flush on top, and he's going to min raise.
Mustache with the club flush up top, but only the 10 high and then a gut shot on the bottom. That raise is going to knock him out for sure. And it looks like Mamba's just going to take the whole thing down with the flush.
Well, Danny's still in.
Oh, you're right. We just can't see Danny. Danny will make the call.
I feel like Danny should be taking an aggressive stand here. He should have maybe made a 3-bet with his hand because of the blocker.
Well, that card, not amazing,
Nope.
but not terrible. It goes check.
We're
Advance,
gonna
get half the pot.
Chop it up, yeah.
Not a huge pot anyway.
What do you think about Danny's hand being just a hyper-aggressive hand?
The problem is that when you have the ace of clubs and Mamba's raising is what is he raising with? And we might think he's got like sets and things like that on the other board that isn't folding.
But we block all of the sets except for deuces. We have ace, king, 8.
That is cool, but it is a Omaha bomb pot where all the sets are still they're more likely to be out there.
It's
right?
tough to find a double board scenario where
Yes.
blockers make sense plus the value of your hand
That's
makes
true.
sense to take like a semi-bluff approach. And I think that was a spot where
That's
you could
fair.
do it.
That's totally fair. I just wish we could see any part of Danny's face that
Why?
wasn't occluded.
Why, a big Danny fan?
I'm calling him the Occlusion from here on out.
That's great.
It's a cool name. It's like a superhero name,
Yeah.
but like a bad guy.
Because he's occluding the world from good.
Wow. I wasn't going to go that far. I was just going to occlude the bank from their money.
This can only be going in good
Right?
ways.
Yeah.
Because bad guys always just want money.
What about the Joker? He's not a bad guy.
He's not really a bad
He's
guy.
a neutral guy.
He's just chaotic neutral.
But the things that he did, people died.
So we got a straddle on the button here. Things are going to start with Aldi in his pocket 3s. Michael looks like he's reaching for raising chips, excuse me, and in fact he is. Is that $100?
It looks
Gotta
like
be.
100, yeah.
That's a disappointment.
Probably would want to go even a little bigger if I was Michael, but whatever.
Actually, it was just fine.
Wheel has a pretty... Oh, Wheel throwing away the queen jack of clubs.
It's a pretty big raise for having nothing invested, but still.
5x. It's not that big.
I know. But Wheel might be thinking of it from a more just dollar per dollar perspective.
Maybe. I'm surprised he folded. That's a pretty shocking fold to me for one.
Yeah.
In the cutoff as well. Isn't like he's +1. See Mustache calling with the king 8. Of course, he already had some money invested. Queen jack of clubs would have liked that flop.
Well, might have lost a lot of money. We'll
Might
see.
have.
I have a feeling Michael's going to bet big here.
Wouldn't be shocking.
Unless Aldi bets first. Nope. Okay. Something like 2/3 pot, maybe even pot.
I think 2/3 pot is a totally fine amount to bet, by the way. It looks like you bet only half pot. I actually would bet more.
I would too. But either way, it's going to achieve the same results of folding everybody out.
Or calling. Honestly, if Aldi's calling 200, 150 is calling 200 anyway. It's all the same.
Well, that's not the same. If he folds, it's the same. But if he calls, it's different.
Yeah, you get value.
Yeah. Not sure why that was one to show, but Aldi letting the table know. He had the crabs. Is that what they call threes? Crabs?
Yeah. The walking crabs.
That's the walking sticks. That's
Well,
7.
that's a different thing. The walking crabs. You think crabs aren't walking? Why are they called crabs? Because they're legs, bro.
Why are they called crabs? because they're
Why
legs.
are the trays called crabs? Because of the legs and the legs of the three.
What part's the leg?
What are you talking about?
That one I don't see. I don't see the crabs. You know.
You don't see the crabs in the three?
No.
If you take the three and you turn it on its side, then you got the three little legs on the ground walking, and it looks like a crab.
Oh, do crabs have 3 legs now?
Does it not look like if you're looking at a crab, that's what it might look like?
No,
you
the crab
weirdo?
is all moving around and shit.
Oh yeah, but the 8 looks just like a snowman.
It looks exactly like a snowman that I built when I was 7. His name was Jeffrey. Wheels gonna raise with ace queen.
He did like
35, fold,
spike the ball at the 10-yard line.
We're down to Stuart, the lone defender.
Heads up.
He will call with the ace-5. He's in a lot of trouble.
The lone defender. So we've got the occlusion and the lone defender.
It's pretty cool.
A lot of people haven't been out in public for a while.
Big miss for everybody. Pretty easy bet for Wheel here.
In the poker world.
Really can go pretty small here, even though there are 2 diamonds.
60.
Looks like it's 50 into 75. 60 into 75. That's 80% a pot. Certainly that'll get it done, as would almost any other amount.
Too much arc.
Cut him off. No more alcohol.
Stuart tried to do a cool fold and he threw the cards off the table.
Classic Stuart.
Yeah.
That isn't a metaphor for that dude. I don't know what is.
The lone defender.
Actually, a floor has to, so.
We got Mamba, the occlusion, the lone defender, Digital Dan. I mean, this is incredible. This group.
And Michael's a supervillain.
Yes,
His
Michael.
name is something like Master Kill.
That's not a good name for a supervillain.
Super Kill.
It's a little bit better, but not great. Hot kill.
How about the Harbinger?
The Harbinger is incredible.
Okay, that's Michael's new nickname.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, usually that wouldn't be the villain though, right? The Harbinger's the person who comes ahead and like tells you how bad it's gonna be.
Well, he's the Harbinger of Doom. It's like,
Right.
if he's there, Doom's coming.
Right.
Doom's not.
But he isn't. But it's not here yet. He's there, and Doom has yet to arrive. That's what the Harbinger would be.
well, then he can't be the Harbinger.
Right. That's what I'm saying. His like assistant could be the Harbinger who gets there first.
Well,
but
who's his assistant? Mamba's gonna go fight the assistant. He's got ace jack off. He's gonna open under the gun.
Mamba's like the name of like a karate guy.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Mamba?
Yeah.
I'm going either way, but probably a bad guy. But either way.
Well, I guess we do have the lone defender. There can only be one good guy. It's in the
Well-
name. It's in the name.
He could just be the only defender. There could be other good guys, and they do team ups sometimes. You ever hear the Lone Ranger? He still had Tonto.
Yeah, but that was
What?
based on racism, maybe. I don't know.
Well, okay, but like the Lone Ranger was still called the Lone Ranger, and it's not like he always acted alone. He was just the only Ranger left because all the other Rangers were dead, obviously. Anyway, we got Ace Jack versus Ace Jack here. We don't have to keep going in that
We are
direction, I
going to
guess.
go back to it.
And they both have backdoor nut flush draws and nothing else. Mama does the shake of his head as if he doesn't like it and then bets. That's interesting. Normally that would be a sign of strength.
He seems to like to do some theatrics, this Mamba.
So far, it seems like when he's spoken or moved his head or anything, it's been true. It's been honest every time. Like when he doesn't like a card, he's like, "That's a bad card for me."
Yeah.
It was a bad card for him last session, right?
Yeah, although I think he was trying to say he had a stronger hand than he did, and that he didn't like the card because he had a good hand before that.
That is true, but the card was sort of a nothing card, if I recall. It was like
It brought in a straight.
brought in one unlikely straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8-9 came in because it was like a 7 of clubs or something. You don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about the last episode of Poker Time.
Check it out.
It's on YouTube and it costs nothing. You're welcome.
So if we're creating a lineup of superheroes and villains, I feel like Wheel is like extra in City.
5%.
It's like the extra on the sidewalk with that polo shirt on.
No,
He's just like he looks up. He's like, wow, look at that.
No,
The
come
occlusion
on.
has made it so I can't see the building.
That's not right.
Okay.
Also, Mustache is here. Mustache definitely.
Mustache
the
is
name.
just mustache.
No, he's a hero though, for sure,
yeah,
right?
maybe he's the mustache. But
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
He should call himself the Mustache. We should call him the Mustache.
Change his screen name.
Anyway, Mamba once again with the hand. I guess there must be a straddle on the button. That's Stuart straddling. Looks like he's going to raise it up here. Ace 10 off.
65.
They're only 8-handed, so when he makes this raise, there's only 6 guys to act behind him. So it makes it a little less crazy than maybe if they were at a full table where it might feel too wide for some players.
set mine again for Aldi.
165.
Stuart's got to call $45, and he's got 2 cards.
Ace
There,
and a
Ace King.
It's been raised by Aldi. I said he was set mining, but
Oh.
I was just surprised, I guess, that he raised with 4s.
I fully expect Stuart to put in a 4-bet here, although he could flat on the button.
He does have the button.
That is the best reason to call, I think. But Ace King just doesn't play super well post flop 3 ways, and if he calls, he knows he's seeing it 3 ways.
The lone defender is
Feels
putting
like
in
it
a
works
4-bet.
better as a 4-bet. He's
He
got
is-
great blockers, and
This is just going to take it down, unless Aldi decides he just
To lose his mind.
doesn't want to give this one up for one reason or another.
yeah,
We got one that lives under there,
nice sizable re-raise by Stewart there.
8 houses away from us.
It's really just a 3x of all these
And they'll, but
raise
Yeah.
amount, but
Feels
still.
feels big because of stack depth and stuff.
Exactly.
You're gonna get scared by a car that
Aldi
drives
makes
by.
this call.
not, I mean, like when
Stewart's
we
going to
go,
have like
it's
1.5 to 1 stack to pot ratio. 4s do not play great that way.
No, Aldi can't profitably call unless he's going to call in a lot of non-4 flops, and that's probably not a profitable decision anyway. If you're going to do that,
Of course you
Yeah.
do.
No, but
Just
but
the
you don't
implied
look
odds
at
are
it
not
and
there.
It's like a
And he's out of position, so he
He was a threat.
can't get as much value as he might otherwise be able to get if he did have the best hand. And he just has to show the 4s. What a great outcome for Stewart. He wins with the worst hand. A hand that is, sort of made for what he did.
I think
But-
the biggest mistake that Aldi made there was showing the hand at the end. Like, 3-betting 4s there was surprising, and if you have
Right.
hands like that that are surprising in your 3-betting range, you should conceal that and keep that to yourself.
Unless you're going to stop doing that for a while
Yeah.
and only 3-bet a tight range, right? That otherwise I agree with you.
Yeah,
Like if he showed 10s there, that'd feel really different.
Yeah.
Right? But 4s, it's like, oh,
yeah.
that almost encourages people to 4-bet him more in these
Right.
spots, right? Like Stewart happened to have Ace King, but he could do it with a lot of aces there if he knows Aldi's going to be that wide. Again, Aldi maybe won't be that wide for a while.
Maybe.
We'll get to watch and find out, Grant, because we get to see the
Definitely
cards.
just called me Jeremy.
No.
Just like
We're-
Russ Hamilton on Ultimate Bet.
We're the seers.
But please tell me the story.
Yes, we're the medium.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's
The
our-
medium is the message, and no one can deny that when we're talking. Oh!
Anyway, what's this?
Nice.
Once again, we have a straddle on the button.
Once again, Mamba has
Wait,
a
do we?
I'm gonna
Yes,
hear
we
the
do.
story.
middling
I'm gonna
ace.
say-
it's not a story.
Ouch. Ace jack off, now middling.
I don't like it.
Harsh.
Jay has a
Bunch of pocket pairs.
problem at his house.
It's
Okay.
fighting him
Two.
for territory. and
That's a
it's
bunch.
Not going
Yes,
well.
the reason it's fighting him for territory is
Stewart's got a pretty callable hand, but decides to let it go.
Oh, shit.
There's
have
another
it.
pocket pair.
Having okay, now there's a bunch.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
5 plans.
Do you,
here it is.
like a rural area,
He
dude?
does.
Like you have like some
Wow,
land.
5 ways. You don't see that too often.
It's a limp pot.
Yep.
No sets.
So would have flopped a monster. Would have flopped a pair and a flush draw and a straight draw. But whatever, Stewart. Open-ender for Danny. Gut shot and overs for Mamba. Bad gut shot for Aldi.
The lone defender has let the city down this time.
Yeah, you see Stewart looks a little annoyed when he saw that flop,
Yeah.
I think. Like, I really could have called for 20 there in the cutoff.
65.
Tough spot for Mamba here. This might be a call if they were heads up and he was in position, but really hard to call here with all these people behind him, I think. even
Right. You
though-
could even raise if there are fewer players, but the board is just a bit too coordinated, I think.
Yeah, you're asking a lot to get everyone to fold. Now, he probably would get everyone to fold. Well,
Well, everybody did already check, so maybe, and it was an
Yeah.
unraised pot, so maybe he thinks he can.
looks like
Well-
he is going to raise. He does block the nuts. Danny cannot fold for just 100 more, which
No.
is what it looks like it is.
But it really sucks as Danny.
Oh, it's actually way more than 100 more. It's 245.
This is a shitty spot if you're Danny.
But with 8s, you just can't fold yet. It's a very wet board. You have draws to huge hands, i.e. straights. You might have the best hand, especially when it's a board this wet. You do block the straights, but not clubs at all. What are we losing to? He limped. I guess he could have pocket 7s. He's been raising sometimes too. like-
Danny just lets it go.
Wow. Great spot.
Jack of clubs, yeah.
Yeah, that's the card to show. I don't know. I don't feel great when someone shows the Jack of clubs there. It's like I'm always ahead, right? Like
Yeah.
if you had Jack 10, you would have shown it. You would have shown the 10 if you were showing something, right? It's like I would assume it was like King Jack of clubs,
Probably should have just dealt for free with that many opponents.
right? And you're like, well,
Yeah, you're
equity
not-
wise, it's not that
You're
bad.
actually probably behind equity wise.
Yeah.
I was expecting someone to bet for sure.
There's Dan. Loves putting that thing over his whole face. I don't know why.
It's a comfort thing.
Different?
Soothes him.
I mean, is it like the same?
He likes those. What are those chambers you lay in the water and you get
Oh,
no?
sensory deprivation chamber.
Yeah, he's a big sensory deprivation guy. For others, not for himself. It's like the soft franchise.
For his victims.
Yeah.
Does it?
I would like to play a game.
So everybody has to know
I
his
would
routine.
Everyone,
Like Billy Eilish style Gucci style.
I'd probably do it for $100.
I don't know what that means exactly, but
$100.
Stuart, I'd probably do it for 100,000.
100.
I mean, Michael as the evil surgeon really fits. I
The
got
evil surgeon. I like that.
Yeah. The mask is helping, but wow.
Just being honest.
The cutter.
I understand.
I gotta
Is that a good name for an evil
Eh,
surgeon?
probably not. It's close.
The
but
slicer.
better, but still, you sound like you're working at a deli. You know,
You get to steal more now.
close. Better than the
How
cutter.
about just the surgeon?
Yeah,
You're on the bonus one.
that's pretty good. Doctor surgeon. Oh.
Doctor
Amazing.
surgeon.
Hey man, I lost my mouse. What could I do?
All right, 10-5 against pocket threes, and pocket threes continue to hold here.
I'll check.
Good.
I'll
We
check.
did have
So is
a
that me? Are you simulating me? or-
I'm just reeling you in.
Oh.
Mamba opened the button, I suppose. That's how we got here. Sorry, we were busy making dumb jokes. Digital ain't gonna bet, but he's not gonna get a fold out of Mamba here.
Probably not.
Mamba, after the last hand, might just go raising again. It worked so well last time. Will work this time as well, I think. I assume. He's just going to call it, though. Well, it's unclear, isn't it, Grant?
He's having a hashtag Mamba moment.
What would Kobe do? There's Dan drinking. Get ready for the mask over the entire face. There it is. Over the entire face. And there's the call. You are in position. It makes this a better call than it would be otherwise, I think. It's a miss, but
Check, check. Here we go.
Mamba can bet this. Mamba should bet this when Dan checks.
Oh, I thought Dan was in position for some reason.
I don't know why it says button right there.
Because I didn't pay that much attention.
Yep. This is a clear bet. What do you think, like 125? Something like that?
Goes for 150.
Yep. Really tough for Dan
This
to
would
call
be
here.
an awesome call.
I mean, what's the story? It's the ace 9?
Ace 9 is mostly the story.
Ace, I want check. Ace 8, maybe?
Maybe, like you
Ace
wouldn't.
X of diamonds?
I guess Ace X of diamonds, but I don't know. It's not a great story, which is what Dan's thinking about. The concern is if he's bluffing with a better hand.
Yeah, and he's going to show it. And yeah. That's unlucky for Dan. Dan had a diamond in his hand, too, so it makes it even a better fold, I think. Maybe if he has no diamonds, he could at least consider it, but he just has so many better hands there, I think.
Yeah, he has a lot of better hands. He just didn't want to believe, and he was right not to, based on the story.
Yeah. Anyway, nice hand by Mamba, I suppose.
Mamba mentality.
Mamba forever. Mambas kill things.
Sometimes they love things. Maybe
They-
we should
they
have a
kill what they-
balanced approach.
They kill what they love.
Only if they're hungry.
Or heartbroken.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is going well.
Going very well. Aldi with ace king under the gun. He's going to limp it.
He's gonna try to raise, I'm guessing.
And Michael is going to raise behind him. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
I sense a 3-bet coming,
Feels like the thing to do, especially when we're this deep.
especially if Wheel calls.
Oh, my God. And Wheel really has to
Oh,
call. How does he fold?
Wheel doesn't feel like playing right now, I guess. I don't know.
Weird. He didn't play the queen jack of clubs. He doesn't play the fives. They're deep. Michael opens with almost 2,000. Aldi just calls. Now, maybe Aldi would have put in the squeeze had Wheel called.
Interesting that he just calls.
Very interesting. Really hard to put him on ace king.
Yeah, it's deceptive, but he's outflopped by Michael here.
He sure is. He does have, well, he's got the 10 and the ace only. Michael has the king of clubs in his hand as well. Reasonable continue here from Michael. He could check it, but it's a wet enough board.
Probably gonna check back the turn unless he improves.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to bet again here. You could bet medium here and just check back the river.
I like checking better.
Just giving all the draws a free shot, for example. And then they make the nuts sometimes.
Well, then you cry.
I don't think Michael's going to be able to fold unless all these sizes is really big.
I think you can consider folding absolutely on this card.
Well, he doesn't. He calls right away. I mean, clearly Aldi can have Jack 10, Queen 10.
We're currently seeing the origin story of the surgeon, how he became evil.
Doesn't look thrilled. And we're back after a wonderful advertisement for our sponsor, Nitrogen Poker.
Lovely.
It was extremely professional.
We loved it. You loved it.
I did. Oh, you're talking about them? Or me?
Yeah.
Yeah, they loved it. Hey, it's a bomb pot.
Bomb pot.
That means we're going to get 4 cards for every player. They're going to ante up $10, and we're going to go right to the flop.
And there's 2 boards. Do we have enough cards
I don't think I
in the deck?
We're pushing it. It's a good thing there's no draws. I'll just say that. If there are any draws, we'd be screwed.
You get 2 bomb pots, right?
But we do have enough
still
cards.
have 4 of these. I need to start.
It's 42 cards are used to do this. So we have 10 left. It's a very small stub, as the dealers would say.
I'll hold on to
Oh,
it
that's
for now.
They love saying that.
that's some sick lingo.
Yeah. That's what they say about you.
I think
Sick lingo.
Yep. That's what it is. Okay, here we go.
I said 3 cards would be $5. It's half the conversation. Thank you, friend.
Flop number 1.
Wait, what?
Queen, ace, jack, 2 diamonds. That's a wet board.
Nothing for mustache. 4 hearts is not a good thing to have.
Board 2, 6, 4, 6, 2 diamonds. Well, diamonds would not be so bad to have right now. The ace, X of diamonds.
If you care.
There's the ace of diamonds for Aldi, who also has a set
And
on top
yeah,
and an overpair on the bottom. That's a pretty good hand.
that's a damn fine hand for Aldi.
What does MIT stand for?
Although Danny flopped, Danny has diamonds and flopped the nuts up top. Danny's got a monster. He also has a 6. Danny's got the whole thing.
Yeah, Danny and Aldi could be headed for a collision here.
Yeah. Danny's going to be in great shape because he should be effectively free rolling the top with the bottom pretty much locked up. The case queen could come. That's about it that he would lose. Wheel looks like he's going to call, though, on Danny's $40 bet, so we don't know what Wheel has. Oh, wow. Digital Dan with full house on the bottom.
Oh, geez, and
an
top
ace up
pair
top.
and a gut shot on top.
Has to call. Wow, there's a lot of action here. Danny currently with the nuts and a second nut flush draw up top.
It says mustache called. I can see that that's not the case, which makes sense considering his
Right.
hand.
Okay, well, we'll just assume that's fine. Michael called as well, we think.
He has the nuts. Oh, that's Danny.
Wheel also with the nuts up top and an open ender on the bottom. That is drawing dead on the bottom, but
Wow,
still
lots of hands.
huge hands here. Let's see if anyone gets in real trouble because there's some serious potential.
Well, that's a full house on top for the queen's full of. Oh no, it's ace is full for Aldi on top.
Right. Aldi, who already had the full, who already flopped the set, now has taken the lead and has locked up the top. Wow, that changed in a hurry. Wheel is now very Danny, who had the nuts up top and a 6 on the bottom,
Now
drawing
has a
very
full hou-
thin.
he has a
He's
full
a full
house.
house on the bottom.
Yeah.
So Dan is now drawing dead.
Wheel is also drawing dead.
This is crazy.
Not today, but just over the last week.
Aldi on top, Danny on the bottom
Over
right
the last
now.
week.
And is there any way anyone else could take it? I guess the nope, even the
case.
case queen coming on the bottom wouldn't do it. The case 4 could do it for Digital Dan, but I don't even know if he's going to stick around. Oh, I guess he is. He's got trip aces up top and a full house on the bottom. He probably has to call 160.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
only
I got
160.
my money's worth for sure.
Yeah.
Minimum.
You could be drawing dead both ways, and
It's just crazy when you don't have
Dan almost is.
It is.
But
It is like
when it's
actually
only
nice
$160,
if
I
you're
completely
He
understand.
raised.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Well,
poker figures,
this is
not
interesting.
anything else.
Well, Aldi's not folding.
Nope, he's got the nuts.
Danny might fold. He does not have the nuts on the bottom, but he has a straight on top and the flush draw to go with the 6s full of kings. Aldi's all in. That might make Danny fold.
That's probably going to make Danny fold.
What do you do if you're Danny? This pot sucks. You have a straight on top.
You assume the straight is no good.
Yeah. You assume the flush draw is probably no good either.
I think we can get the only thing we're losing to is pocket kings on the bottom. There's one combo of it, but it's possible.
Yeah, because you
But
have two opponents especially.
Yeah.
This is a crappy spot.
Now the thing is that is good for him Danny has the king, has a king in his hand. So there's only one combo of that. If he gets heads up against Aldi, it's not so bad, right? Because Aldi, if we're losing on top, it means he also has to have. There's only 2 spots for the remaining 2 kings. That's a pretty good thing where I think we could consider calling, although it's very expensive. Maybe we shouldn't do it anyway. It's 2.6K.
He lets it go.
It's understandable.
And I think Dan's going to have to let it go, too.
I don't see how Dan can call. It's so much money.
He would win the bottom in all likelihood.
That's what he's hoping for, right? And he
makes the call. Wow.
Well, there is the case queen that can come and kill Dan.
It can.
That's it, though, right?
Yeah,
As
I
long
think
as
other than that, this is pretty much locked up.
So watch out for the 1 outer. It is not. It's a 4. Dan makes quads.
Oh. Well,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He was already ahead.
Well,
But
good fold by Danny then. If Danny called, Dan might have
Dan would have folded.
folded.
I'm sure Dan
Yeah.
would have folded.
But I mean,
That was an action double board
Wow.
bomb pot.
Man, everyone, it felt like 5 players had really strong hands
Yeah.
there. And this is one of those spots where as the action gets, as a bunch of players stay involved and the money starts to get big, your hand shrinks up.
Yeah,
if
you
don't
really you have to have the nuts in one spot.
It feels, or super strong draws in both spots or
Right.
something. Like if you have, monster draws in both spots, maybe.
On
Nut draws. It can be nut draws.
on unpaired boards.
Yeah, for sure. Even then, that may not be enough.
Yeah.
Because you only get there a third of the
You
time.
have to have the
each.
nuts on one board to even consider doing anything, I think.
I don't know. You could have like top set that isn't the nuts currently and have a really strong hand on it, and like a monster nut flush draw and wrap on the other
Yeah, I
board
guess.
and go
Yeah.
with it. Stuff like that. But to your point, yeah, the more players are in, the worse your hand is likely to be.
Looks
worse
like
shape
we're
you're
just
gonna be
doing
in.
another bomb pot right away.
They did that before too. They played Duke bomb bots, so they do that sometimes.
They like it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Some-
expecting as much action in this one as the last one.
I mean, how could you? That action was bananas, as Jim Carrey would say.
Jim Carrey loves saying
He
bananas.
loves saying, and he loves using that tone of voice when he says it.
And he contorts his face, and then people give him $10 million.
They do constantly. Even now, well, not so much, but they did for a long time.
It was awkward.
All right, here we go. Fasten your seatbelts. Ace 5, 2 hearts.
Well, an ace for Mustache.
Queen 4, 10, 2 diamonds. Nothing else going on for Mustache. I guess he's got a draw to
He's
the
got a
gut shot.
gutter, yeah.
That's not a great draw.
Anybody have a 5? Queens and 4s on the bottom for wheel. Anybody have a 10?
Stewie has a 10 for the bottom, for trips on the bottom. Not super strong, but not terrible. So we're not seeing, although we can't see 3 players' hands, but we're not seeing the same kind of power. And in fact, here we go. We checked all the way down to the river here.
Well, Mamba makes a set of 8s on top.
So he's got a full house on top.
Oh,
Ace
yeah, full
5.
house. That's right.
And the bottom, can't see it right now. So that's makes it harder.
It does.
There's there's cards.
The degree of difficulty is higher.
I think it's like Queen 10 XXX.
There's a 10. And there's another 10.
Pretty sure there's a queen down there too. There you go. Queen 10, 10, 4, 6. With 3 diamonds. So if anyone has diamonds, but yes, Aldi has the nut flush on the bottom and top pair on top.
Mustache makes the call.
Mustache has
Top, and then on the bottom, he doesn't really have anything, does he?
I don't think so. That seems optimistic. I guess it's only $80 and no one else seemed very interested, but he did overcall also behind Dan.
I got 8 full. I don't know if it's good anymore. Well, it probably is, but
It's going to go Mamba and Aldi, I think.
Unless Digital Dan has something that
it's
beats
true.
them.
Unlikely to with this much action that Dan
Yeah.
has something that's going to take off the pot. Yep, Aldi takes back his half.
We'll never know who won the other
It's
half.
better not to know.
It's probably Mamba.
Yeah. It like almost has to be Mamba.
Yeah.
Dan would have raised if he was only going to win half the pot and had a hand that beat that, I think.
Yeah.
Almost always.
Yep, you'd think so.
that was a super weird hand.
I don't know what
I didn't even,
Yeah,
I didn't even know if I should
I'm
bet
just
the
like,
river.
I'm like, I had nut flush. I'm like, I really shouldn't call here.
well, I mean, it checked.
No,
through.
I'd bet when you get checked to there.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it checked all the way around.
These guys love their bomb
Just take
pots.
the whole
Love them.
But at the same time, I don't know, maybe.
Believe me, I was
Bomb
betting
pots are
if it got
interesting to play.
I just think maybe.
There's a lot of spots. As someone who's played some recently,
See if anybody bets.
these kinds of things, the double board Omaha bomb pots, a lot of spots where it's like, what am I supposed to do here? Someone bet in its early position, and I got a lot of guys behind me, and I have a pretty good hand, but not a great hand. I'm not drawing to the nuts. The answer is you fold a lot, but it doesn't feel good.
The only way to really find out what you're supposed to do in double board bomb pot Omaha, I think, is to start having tournaments of double board bomb pot Omaha that forces you to play more hands, and then you can figure out ranges a little better. Because you can just kind of avoid playing, because usually it's not the entire game.
What is the word?
I mean, at this point, probably no one really knows what they're doing.
Right.
Really. So there's people who know a little bit more than everyone else. That's sort of poker in general, right? No one really knows anything. But if you're not the dumbest guy at the table, that's a good start. Even
Great
if everyone's
start.
dumb, you can, in the land of the blind, right? The one-eyed man is king. Here we go. Ace 8, that's a good flop for Mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Gut shot for Aldi.
The best I've come up with, Danny.
Someone's always got a gutter.
Tell me about it.
Purgatory. and
Danny's going to take a shot with his 7 high. I worry for Danny's bankroll right now because I don't think this money is coming back to him. It's not going to boomerang.
You're worried for his bankroll because he bet $65?
Well, I'm worried about the potential where it's going.
Because he's going to triple barrel all in? And
What if he did?
he's going to get called?
Maybe. I don't know what the turn's going to be. If an 8 comes on the turn, Danny is going to bet again. Hey, Aldi calls as well. It's probably going to shut down Danny unless exactly an 8 does come.
Thank goodness for the sake of Danny's bankroll.
Wish I had more cards.
It's
a
a
7.
7.
Oh
Danny
my-
takes the lead and now has outs.
He takes the lead?
Takes the lead on Aldi. Aldi now open-ended.
Oh, there's no S. Wish.
Check your own.
Whimsy.
Danny knows he's behind here, almost certainly.
Yes.
So the question is, does he want to take a shot? He does not. An 8 comes on the river. That's best for Mustache with his aces up. And probably it's going to be hard to get value here.
Yeah, I don't think either player is going to find a call.
Novel suggestions that I
Mustache bets 225. Unless Aldi wants to take that 10 and say, I block a straight.
He does not.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
The issue with Purgaha is it sounds like purgatory, which is like sounds too strong.
Well, it is.
Yes,
Because we're.
Danny seems to be thinking, but we're going to look at Mustache.
Well, we're looking at Aldi and Mustache.
Well, Aldi already folded.
Yeah, so let's look at Mustache. There's Danny. Danny's considering making a call with just the 7. Maybe he's considering raising.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever call.
Calling seems cray-cray.
Danny might just be tilting a little bit. He's been losing a lot of
You
pots.
see the way he just did that?
Yeah.
I'm sure Mustache just showed his hand and it's like, yeah, nice hand. But even the way he did that,
Little
sort of
tilty.
slightly frustrated.
Little tilty.
Yeah, actually was.
Things started off so well for Danny at the very beginning of this, where I think on hand 1 he had kings against Stewart
Oh, yeah.
and won a reasonable pot. Stewart put in the cold 4 bet, I think, or the squeeze at least. Anyway, Mustache, never down, always happy. He's going to straddle on the button. The Mustache, I'm sorry. The
Why-
Mustache sounds like a
Why'd you
30s
say?
hero.
Why'd you say never down, always happy about a guy who just won the pot?
That is very strange.
What do you mean?
It's like something you would say about somebody who something bad happened to.
Well, I mean, if it's true, then you could say it no matter what was
Yeah,
going
but that's
on.
not how people use it.
Well, I'm not normal. I'm not like other people. I'm me, and I have my ways of expressing
Yeah,
it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You're welcome, America and the world. Shakespeare, also had ways of expressing himself, and people appreciated that, Grant.
Some people did.
Some people did. There was that movie about, was Shakespeare really the writer of Shakespeare's plays? It's thrilling. So interesting.
It sounds really thrilling.
That was the way they tried to sell it.
It's a more interesting premise than that Greg Kinnear movie about inventing the windshield wiper.
But that was at least a true story.
Yeah, do you want to see the story about the guy who invented the windshield wiper and then spends 2.5 hours of movie time trying to defend a patent?
I mean,
does that sound fun to you?
Maybe there's some exciting moments of people chasing with guns. Ace 8 versus pocket sixes.
I would be happy to do that.
Monochromatic flop. No one has anything. And Mustache, of course, does have the pair. Mamba checks to him. Mustache could just defend his equity here, but he checks it back. That's another club. Feels like Mamba's been just taking shots whenever he could, and this is a good card to shoot. shoot at.
You shoot that card.
Yeah,
Mustache
Whoa,
does
it's only
not believe.
$10. It's only $10.
I'll be watching it though when it, to see
Fair
what
enough.
You fuck your child in your hand.
But is Mamba going to give up on the river?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Stupid vlogger.
Johnny.
Johnny vibes.
Yeah, when you were.
And
That was
For
like
$10 though, I understand why Mustache would call.
on this. That was
It
incredible.
was pretty good.
He is not going to give up.
Partial to Nino, but
Probably gonna work.
Yeah.
Now it's at 65,
Neil said something about Johnny.
and it does work.
Johnny.
Well, that's always nice when you bet the turn as a bluff get called, and all you do is enrich yourself because you bet more on the river and they fold.
Yes.
It was a
Always good.
I love being enriched.
Yeah,
It was me,
like
Johnny,
uranium.
Kevin, we're all
Sure.
and, like, Jay
Uranium gets enriched.
Yeah, often.
Also bread.
good
Yeah.
somehow, and there's a ton of
Yeah.
Enriched wheat.
And Johnny said something to the effect of like, yeah, you can focus on your hand, buddy.
That's a good point.
No, he said that was like
Hey, that's the end of the show.
700.